Good morning, Panda. Be dead on it. You're gonna be proud of me. This is like the third one of these that I have filled up with water because I drank the other two. Because I drank the other two already this morning. I look like shit. Oh my god. I woke up like an hour ago. I have to turn this light on. I'm awake. I promise. Hey, gamer. What's up? Today we are playing the Stanley Parable, which is a game where the narrator tells you exactly what to do, and you decide whether or not to do it. I don't like being told what to do. So, we're gonna see how this goes. Hey, John. Hi. I am streaming and my camera is on. What's up? You're just excited for the game? I feel like I'm Dora the fucking Explorer. Cause you're. I was about to say, you take my goddamn. Panda says hi, Prince.
Hi, Panda.
Thank you for saying something so I don't look like I'm talking to nothing. Hold up.
Yep, house.
Well chained out. But yeah. Oh my god, I have too much shit on my desk. Let's clean this motherfucker off. Let's start up the game. That's not the right thing to click. I have not. I like started this game and then it started asking me questions and I'm like, we can load in. There we go. Started asking me questions and I felt the need to do this on stream. Best thing to listen to while I try to draw on my new tablet? Yes. What tablet did you get? Played the Stanley Parable before? No. Please adjust the slider to where the computer is barely visible. I'm gonna do it to where it's barely visible on my screen that actually shows stuff well, and then just turn the brightness on this computer down, the screen down, because that way I know it's kind of where it should be for y'all. And then I'm gonna turn it on. I don't like that there's a brightness slider. Hold up, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's only brightness sliders in fucking horror games. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this a horror game? I was not told that if this was a horror game. I'm watching the show called Old Enough. It's Netflix. It's a Netflix. It's on Netflix. It's a series of parents sending the kids off to the first errands. He's like 2 to 5, and I mean these errands like going across a couple of roads to get 3 things from the store and back home. Obviously, there's a camera crew following them around, so in disguise, so it's not obvious the kids make. I think I've seen stuff like that. So in Japan, stuff like this is common. Roads and areas are set up to be safe for kids. Honestly, that sounds kind of interesting. Why are you here? Current time. It is 3. It needs to not be AM. Three 57 p.m. Huh? No, accessible said these sizes can be changed from the main menu. Okay. I don't think I've heard of that one, and I've heard of a lot of drawing tablets. I'll have to check that show out, honestly. I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm like nervous now.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
This is loud, is what it is.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job
like a
was
horror
simple.
game.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every
Yeah, we're
year.
Stanley.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
What the fuck?
Stanley was happy.
We're gonna actually leave this loud as shit.
And then
because
one day, something very
y'all need to
peculiar
hear
happened.
the,
Something that would
narrator.
forever change Stanley.
Maybe I'll turn it down a little bit.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
See, I will
Never
say,
in all his years at the
I
company had this happened. This complete
have seen
isolation. Something
one
was
playthrough
very
of this
clearly
game.
wrong.
I've seen the playthrough where
Shocked,
you follow the
frozen
narrator's
solid,
instructions.
Stanley found himself unable to move for the
And that's
longest
the only one.
time.
So I'm
But
not
as he
gonna
came to
follow
his
any of
wits
those
and regained
instructions.
his senses, he got up from his desk
I'm gonna
and stepped out of his
do
office.
The first run, essentially we're... I'm gonna do the first one where I just kind of do the stuff that I want to do. Why do I like glide at? Like, I feel like I'm on fucking roller
All of his
skates.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Like, why does it feel like I'm skating? What the fuck?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
Why are these
co-workers.
desks in such bad shape? Why does it hold up? Why? Just gonna turn this down like a little bit. I mean, honestly, Sailor Ducks and Moons don't follow the CIA's to their home. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know what happens when you don't follow instructions. Have I already gone this way?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, see, no, I'm too petty for this.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, change your instructions when I don't follow them. What was the trigger warning thing? Is there a... Suicide, trauma, and mental health issues. This has been y'all's warning.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the
Can't
first
run.
open door on his left.
No. It's over here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired
Why
years
is this
ago.
desk so high? Did I get shorter? That these desks get taller. I feel like I'm not the same height that I was when I started.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to
You
his
did
death.
die
Good job,
from
Stanley.
fall damage.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay. Well, let's try that again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It's 100% just something
Yes,
I would do.
this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Of course Maury fucking called it. I always
Stanley was so
damage
bad
in
at
every
following
game.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah, maybe I should have
Look,
followed the
Stanley,
sign.
I think perhaps we've gotten
and
off on the
not,
wrong foot here. I'm not
Don't
your
drop the
enemy,
edge while it
really,
was still
I'm not.
moving. I'll drop off the
I
edge when it's
realize
not
that
moving.
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? What?
No.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Why would you give me 2 options if you want me to walk through one? Like...
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Yeah, no, give me, like...
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
I don't
Work
want to
with
listen
me.
to
You
your
gave me
rant.
absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that
voice that much?
I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Is this... That's not real, right? I'm more attractive than Stanley. This is you. Once to take the beauty to the correct door. I do kind of want to go this way, though.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
I would, actually.
Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life.
Oh my
I
god,
think
I'll
the
do what you
outward
say if you
will
stop
really take
talking.
notice. But of
Holy
course, the
shit.
message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Yeah, no, Panda, I was gonna burn the baby.
You heartless
I was gonna burn the baby.
bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to
Yes,
spite me?
both.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me.
Just kill me.
I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out.
Good.
I'm done.
Leave me alone.
It's over.
Goodbye. Oh,
Thank
shit.
you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the
Put me in
pain.
Tetris.
Let's see.
Put me in
do we have
Tetris.
here?
Hey, Ink, you missed me killing a baby.
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating.
Is this
What do you think
Firewatch?
this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity.
I
So
would do
far, I love
Firewatch.
everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out
Yeah,
there.
maybe if you let me open doors myself, I'll be. Oh, not the don't tread on me. On a fucking doormat. The irony of that. This is actually quite pretty. This is weird as shit, though. I wasn't disrespecting Firewatch.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Damn it.
You nearly wandered off into that
I wanna
thing,
play the
that
whole
big,
game.
open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any...
Yeah.
Oh, thank
yourself.
heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
Good thing.
Okay,
So
I'm going to
good
get
at
us
this.
out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Can I go through this?
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
I wish I could have gone through that and freaked him out. Is this
Wonderful.
Overwatch?
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box
Rocket
for you to
League.
run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
Why
Stanley,
am I so
if you manage
short?
to get
Why am
lost
I
in this
so low
game,
to the
I will
ground?
be phenomenally impressed.
Why did it make me so short? Like, that's rude.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must.
Soccer
Okay, Stanley,
cards.
here's the ball. Have fun. Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Oh no!
Stanley, I
Forgot!
have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount
Oh,
of
no.
raw adrenal pleasure,
Yes,
then
give me
surely
more.
multiple balls
Give me more.
makes for an even more euphoric
Give
sports
me more,
experience.
give me
I'm going
more,
to try it
does he
out.
have
Here
an
comes
Xbox?
another ball.
Give me more,
Yes.
give me
Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm
Let me
insatiable.
score a goal.
More balls.
I don't care what's happening behind me. I want to score a goal. Yay. Okay. Now, oh! Suddenly I cared about what was happening behind me.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Yes, I am actually.
Is this a real video game?
Yes.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good
Fuck
time, because
yeah.
guess what? It's over.
No!
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end.
It also
This is
slowed
my
me
game,
down!
and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley.
Fuck you!
Besides,
This
you
did
need
not make
someone
me
like
like
me to
more
set
than you.
boundaries for
More
you.
like you
Without
more. This
rules
made me
or
hate you
boundaries,
more.
video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am
No, but
structure.
open world games
I'm
are
your
so
sense
popular,
of
you
purpose.
dumbass.
And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you
No.
either. So goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules.
If you give me the
Somehow,
balls
I
back,
don't
I'll be
think you'll
fine.
enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something.
Kid.
After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
They'll come back. They always come back. Either that or there's some exit I need to find. Hey, Terry. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do next here, because the narrator just abandoned me. I was having fun with his new game.
Hold
Oh.
on. What are you doing?
Oh, I
Stanley,
didn't die
don't do
that
that. I
time!
can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back. We still have so much.
This is creepy. Let's go this way. I can't. Wait, see. Oh shit. This is creepy now. And really dark. I'm playing Stanley Parable. Hey, Ghost Virgo. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little nervous. What number am I again? What's my number? I think I need to find my number. It was 400 something. Oh, 427. Probably. Oh!
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay. Can I? The end is never the end, is never the end. We're back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Hold up.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
My little square wasn't green. It's supposed to be green. I think I'm gonna follow some directions this time. Like, I think I'm gonna...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office hoping he might find an answer there.
Get Chris out of the broom closet. Standardized graphs, 40x wide, not cost efficient. Ongoing. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire someone to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep targets on the topics of erased words. Push for funding for R&D for new coffee machine. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items right next to today's agenda items. Reflect employee numbers and gym. Schedule. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. I'm in group 420, 42x. This is the weirdest arranged graph. Hold up, we gotta talk about this for a second. Because why are the days on the side and the fucking times on the bottom? Like, the time should be on the side and the day should be at the top. The fuck? Also, what to do about 432? Don't tell 432 about the meeting. I know the game is intentionally confusing, but like I'm a little pissed about. Oh wait. Ha! Someone was in the broom closet.
Stanley
right?
stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Down.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he
makes
went?
me nervous.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Oh.
He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation.
No, it's all simulation.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything
I'm like
that
listening
I'm doing
so
and
hard to what
thinking?
this guy's talking about rather than talking.
Now the voice was describing itself
He's
being
just,
considered
the
by
narrator's the
Stanley,
streamer for
who
today.
found
I'm
it
not talking
particularly
anymore.
strange. I'm dreaming
Narrator's
about
doing my
a
job.
voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself. Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely,
God,
if he could just...
I'm in the car. How does
He
the car
would
get
prove
in
it.
here?
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
This makes me nervous.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
What?
I am okay.
Are you? Yeah, I was wandering around that whole time.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley.
Now I feel like
have
I'm in a
boss.
goddamn
I have an
boss
office.
rush.
I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be
Oh,
real. I
fucking
must
hell.
be. Can anyone hear my voice?
I feel like I'm
Who
running
am I?
from
Who
something.
am I?
It's all gonna
And
stop all of a
everything
sudden.
went black.
Oh. Also, is my stream, like, being
This
okay?
is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Because, like, it keeps being
Mariella
funky.
woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body
Oh,
of
I
a
guess
man
this is the
who
themes
had
of
stumbled
suicide.
through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know
why
what
it's
is
being
real
like that.
and what isn't.
Okay.
It was
Let me know if
comforting
it
to
gets
think
bad.
this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Damn, I thought you called the fucking ambulance. Okay, now what happens if I do this all and then go through the red door?
All
like
of
I'm
his
supposed to?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I don't wanna go to the
When
bus
Stanley
stop.
came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
This game
just to
is a
admire
game where
it.
you make
The
a bunch of
lounge was
decisions and it
sublime,
affects things,
a work
except
of
there's
art.
also a person
But
telling you
eager
what
to
the
get back to business,
correct
Stanley took the
decisions are
first open door
to
on
make.
his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible
I'm
he
not gonna
wasn't
jump
5
off this
years
time,
ago.
though. I'm going to let
Look,
it
Stanley,
take me to
I
the
think
side.
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has
Although
been
I do
about
wanna
nothing
jump
but
off just
you
to shut you
all
up
this
from your
time.
stupid fucking tirade.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
My wife?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
door, ma'am. Kind of looks like a void. I don't know. I'm going in the door. Going in the door. Oh.
That's her, Stanley.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Yes.
Who'd want to commit their life to you?
Yes.
I'm trying to make a
would
point
make
here,
a
Stanley.
lovely partner.
I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Ugh. Oh my god.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Is the mannequin gonna murder me?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I'm not gonna press P. I'm not gonna do it. I'll wait. Fuck you, I'll wait. Okay, I'm not that patient.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Rude!
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Oh my god. Oh yeah! I'd like to watch TV. Where's the TV? Is this the TV?
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Oh my god. Spend time with the boys!
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through
Spam
either.
it!
At
Spend time with the boys.
Choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
I'll make dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
I don't have kids!
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head,
I just have my
he
mannequin
relived
wife
it
that it won't even
again,
let me
and
near
then
enough to
again,
touch.
and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free.
I couldn't
Surely
run. Like,
there's
at
an
that point,
answer
I couldn't
down some
move.
new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Oh shit, is her eyes following me? Oh my god, I thought her head was following me for a second. I love you,
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Oh, all of these
the
assets
longer he
already in here.
spends here, the more invested he
gets,
the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Yes, let me go to sleep, please.
And I'm trying to tell him this. that in this world he can never be anything but
Bye,
an observer.
Terry. Thanks for
That
stopping
as long
by.
as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here,
Can't
watch
be
this.
suicide.
Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not
Easy
do it.
instructions. Okay, let's go. Perfect timing, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, but if nothing happens and this is just like the rest of the game, then like stretch. Oh my god. 2 stretch. 2 stretches. Just gonna dislocate my shoulders. That'll count as a double stretch, right? I'm gonna go see if I can get some tea made. Either have Lady Lavender or Lady Alright. Any of those 3. I'm getting tea made. I do need to hydrate. I am incredibly dehydrated, despite the fact that I've already had 3 of these. Yeah, you can only redeem it like a certain amount because people would always spam it. So, I had to restrict. Okay, this is boring.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Did I just move? Yikes.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button.
Please
And
die.
I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
I want a counter of how many endings I've gotten. Let's see. I died to fall damage. Got the baby ending. But, oh, this is already too many endings to keep track of. But I've gotten quite a
Stanley knew
few.
the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever
This
they
is
were.
narration, though.
Just a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
1,
Perhaps he
2,
wanted to stop by the
3
employee
times.
lounge first, just to
I
admire it.
really thought about
Standing
it
now
hard,
in this incredible
and then
room,
immediately was like,
Stanley
I
for the
can't
first,
count
but
this
eager
high.
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
4.
But Stanley
Thanks
didn't
for
want to
trying
go
to
back
get
to the
tracked,
office.
kinda.
He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
1 sec, Princess. Sorry, the princess asked me how I want my tea. Because they're amazing. I said left? Wait, for now I thought your necklace had a black thing attached to it. Was it? Yeah. It was the shirt all along. This necklace is cool though. It's chain.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
This looks cool. Oh!
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just
Where
have
am
to
I?
get back to,
20... There.
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole
Oh,
story
boy.
completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay,
427
from
down
the
there.
top.
So that was another ending, so that's 5.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
My lighting
Stanley
right
decided to
here.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted.
mind,
I
that
swear,
wasn't
I
an
definitely
ending.
restarted the game over, completely
That
fresh.
wasn't an ending.
Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then.
I was
It's an
able to open
adventure.
one door. Oh,
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
not that way. That looks like the fucking back rooms. That has stuff. Back rooms. This really do feel like the back rooms, though. Okay, see you guys, Virgo. Have fun.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can
You're not the
promise
one
you
walking.
there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
I do not agree to this!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I don't see anything.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
That's a very threatening "here it comes."
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh, it's getting worse.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, it did.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
I won!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this
Speedrun,
was not
52
one of those
minutes, win the
situations.
Stanley Parable.
Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
He sounds like the...
All right, I've got a solution.
I'll
this
definitely
time,
follow
to make
this
sure
line.
we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
No, I like it. I like it.
You see? The line
I'm
knows
much
where
more
the story
of
is.
a
It's
visual
over in this
person
direction.
anyway than
Onward,
an
Stanley,
autorial
to
person.
destiny.
So
Here's a thought.
This is nice.
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Boy, 432 carries. He needs something to do about 432.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later
Wait, why
in
did
the
I actually
story.
do that?
Make sure you study
Wait,
it
no,
closely
I feel the
and
need to do
remember
this,
it
actually.
carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Cool, got it. Yeah, exactly. I'll follow you into a fucking
Wait,
war
what?
for the
We're back
yellow
at the
line.
office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Funky music. Play that funky. Oh,
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything
Where's
we've been through,
432?
you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
oh, I was looking for 432. Okay, and
You
now
know
what?
what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
I was
Something
gonna forget the
exciting,
adventure line this time.
daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Which door opened? No. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing this whole time. Is like, oh, that's a door. This
Now,
is so
yes,
backroomsy.
this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
Is it just
Go
circle
wild.
skin?
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready
I had
for
to make
it.
sure it wasn't trapping me in circles. Because this started to feel awfully circle endless loopy. Oh no. Oh, never mind. Oh.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
This
From here,
room
the
makes
story
me
is in
feel
our
bad.
control. How important we mustn't squander
This
the
room makes
opportunity.
me feel
in fact,
bad.
I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a
Huh.
minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere. which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door
It should
lead
let me
us
just
to where
interrupt
we're
him and walk through the
going?
damn doors.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
That is... I almost said that's the left door, but it's not. Hold up.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Nonsense, philosophy, and music.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
Schedule.
And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
And Nathan's played a story, but is prevented.
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do
It's
it.
fucking cool as shit.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Oh, but I wanted to go to the bookstore!
Whatever it is that made this schedule. How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not
Every
the
time this
destination.
motherfucker starts
So
talking
I
too
hope
much, I
that's
just
where
start
we
trying
are right
doors.
now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do... Wait,
Narrator
Stanley
forgets
thought
what's
to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So the boss knows that's what the boss says because it's something the boss says and the boss chose. Panda! Panda, no! And are you okay? this because it's taking a while. I feel like I hear someone whispering. Hold up. Not the narrators. Yeah. This is the rest of the stream, y'all. We got 2 more hours of this. How long do I go until until it's just like a dead end? How long do I stay here until I assume it's dead end? Forever? An hour? 30 minutes? Fair enough, Maury.
Battery 20%.
Long enough it stops being funny. Whenever there's a waiting time, we get buff goblin. I'm just gonna start posing. Yeah, I was checking to see how much battery my headphones have. So don't tell me when it stops being funny. I'm sorry, gamer. No, just my headphones are dying. Okay, up isn't going anywhere. I'll come back.
Stepping into his manager's
Oh,
office,
fuck.
Stanley was once again stunned to
Damn.
discover not an indication of any human life.
I wanted to go back.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by
And we're
sheer
back in
luck.
business.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
was a weird little space right there. I tried to push up.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Because fuck you.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Because you're a prick.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley
Oh, really?
would
Is there a
meet his
sprite button?
violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. Super creepy. Let's go! Whee!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Bye.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
much is the office? First section been added and altered through development. The core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. The office. Button sounds. Selection of button sounds used in the game when buttons are pressed. Okay. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Let me play oh, I want to play solitaire. Damn. I know, right? The boss's office. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Office clock. This is actually incredibly interesting. Lounge. Underground. An early version of the underground partition game.
Stanley jumped in the river.
Narration outtakes.
And finally,
Kevin Briding, the voice of the narrator, recurring dialogue the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years it developed. These are clips from the early takes that were not used.
then he pushed the number 4. Stanley stood on the snow.
Snow?
Now then, this elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where...
Yeah, I know, right? Freedom ending. I don't know what that ending is. Weird window. Monitor room elevator. Down room. Back to that. Zending. The versions of the ending known as Zending. Game merges on product. Is that fucking Portal? Looks like Portal. Begin the game again is in the escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, few players realized this is what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everybody. I love this whole thing. As someone that's like, fuck yes, museums, let me wander around for hours at a time, this is like my shit. I think there was another way I could go over here. Yeah. Office. Maintenance room. Copier. Some nice green couch in the game. How do I get the money? Office. Lounge. Early version of the lounge. Apartment timer. Previous version of the choice thing to the apartment ending timer will give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking the phone would lead to a different ending. Cargo lift. The second version was functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Cargo lift. The cargo was designed to have the choice of staying or jumping on to a different path. However, in this version, we also wanted to have the option of the player falling to death. Well, I did that. Oh wait, I've seen this. One option. Obey, disobey, first choice. Two options. No confusion, confusion. Huh. Let's go back to Portal and to where I saw the Stanley exit with the Stanley Parable on-off switch, because I think I've seen everything else.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much
No,
they
I
need
can't say
one another?
anything.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Sexy lady voice.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Oh fuck.
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your
It's
own
fine, it's
true
fine.
choice.
It's fine.
Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Oh, that was a wet crunching noise. Is that the bite of 87? That was a wet crunching noise. I'm sorry. Was there always music?
All of his co-workers were
I
gone.
don't remember there always
What
be
could it
music.
mean?
Or do I only notice
Stanley
it now
decided to go
because
to the meeting
the
room.
museum is
Perhaps he
dead
had
silent?
simply missed a memo. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
See, I don't know how many endings there, like, are that are actually endings and not just weird continuations to the game.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
This might be the deluxe
After
part.
receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded
I do
upon
have the
in
deluxe
2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe
I
content.
honestly might have been on accident.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special
up or
yet,
down, up or
but
down,
I'm
up or
sure
down, up
it's
or down,
just
up
the
or down.
beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
What? Oh no. Oh god. Why is there...
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Wait, let me just...
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator.
We're going up again.
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions
I
of
don't
this
understand why
game
you're
are
talking
not
to me like I can
positive.
respond back.
It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
In
If
this
this
day
is
and
new
age,
content,
yes.
then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right
Takes
there.
20 hours
Hell,
to
I could
go
count to
back in
30
time.
trillion. You could
What
put
if
that on the
there's
box.
specific
The
cleaning
Stanley
solution called
Parable
Bobby That's
Ultra
just
Deluxe,
mods.
now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if...
But
oh, wait.
all of my
There's more.
mods
Very
are
good.
like not
Yes.
here.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it.
It's fine. 'Cause they
I'm
all just
ready for
kinda
whatever it
chill.
is.
Like, it's not like I can pay my mods yet.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy
I
dollar.
paid
And don't get me started
$25
on the
for this
level of
game.
craftsmanship that's
Fuck
gone into it.
you.
In fact, I'm looking
fuck
right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
How do I
What
get it?
quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated
How
and
do I
I'm
not have
offended, and
achievements? Hold
I
on.
intend to find these people on Twitter
Earn
and
0
hold
out
them
of 11
personally
achievements?
accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we
Oh my
just
God, there really
reset
is an
the
achievement
game and we'll
that
try to
says
get back
test
to what the
achievement
Stanley
anymore.
Parable
Welcome
is
back.
really
Beginning start
about.
Again. You can't jump.
No
seriously, we
frills,
disabled it.
no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Click on door
What do you
435
say,
times. I'll do that.
friend?
Don't play Stanley Parable for 10 years. I just want is currently going to repair this every road coding to the mods. What the fuck am I? Where's room 430? I need to click it 5 times.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
In a minute.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
I'm coming.
Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
Yeet. Stanley's venting. Have you heard of the cool game? Hit game Among
Okay,
Us Stanley?
you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got
Yes.
me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
This looks like Firewatch.
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh,
We still need to do an Among Us night. I know, I never played this game either. Well, it's I don't play for 5 years. Now it's 10 years.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear
Bro,
that,
you're seriously
Stanley?
talking with
Every
lions and
game
live stream.
ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now, a lifeless husk with an hour of new
I don't think that was even an
elevator
hour. I think it was like
content.
10 minutes, maybe. I really wanted to go in that door. Got a dash! See ya, ink. Okay. This is really interesting, though.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10.
This is
Don't
a
you get
boring
it,
ending.
Stanley? The game was
It's really
perfect.
cool. It's
It
really
didn't need anything else.
interesting.
It didn't need new content.
It's
It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting
just because I
dust
don't like
in the
listening to
hallowed
this guy
hall
listen
of
to
beloved video game memories. Oh, these were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Let's see what this one says.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy?
Yes!
Stanley,
Thank
I'm
you!
not preachy,
He is
am I?
preachy.
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
When can I
Oh,
crouch?
goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had
Wonder if
always
they
thought of the
do that.
game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well,
Light
I
and
always thought it
airy?
did. But maybe it wasn't.
Maybe later
Yeah.
if you're
What an
heading
awful
up.
memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Good.
Like I let these people
Okay.
down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I ought. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations
Yes!
of what's
Oh
happening.
my god, can I please?
I wish there was a skip button. A
I like
skip
this
button.
game.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the
Context
amount of
is
time the
skipping forward,
button
that's
has
really
been
cool.
skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think...
Of course I'm just fucking with him now. I don't like him.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had...
Plus, there's nothing else for me to do unless I want to listen to him. Oh, he's dead. Did he die? Well, I mean, there's nothing else to do other than push the buttons, so... Plant's dead. Clock's dead. Might as well. Oh, fire alarm battery died. Damn. Goblin killed
But they
him,
didn't
shit.
understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed.
Well, he wasn't dead. Maybe now he is.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the
I think I
end, is
broke
never
a man
the end,
IRL,
is never
though.
the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never...
Damn. How long do I sit here and do this for? Oh, wait a second, I sit down? Not yet. Oh. Getting close to exit time? How's the button still working? Oh, look how pretty this is! Look at this! Look how pretty! Oh. What happened? How long do I have to press this button for? Oh, the button. Oh. Huh. This is interesting. world to me, bro. I don't think it gets more open world than that. Oh. Hold up, wait, I want to turn on one-handed walk. What left? Oh, it's already on.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yes.
Understood. Your order will be canceled immediately.
No!
Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
1, 2,
Now suppose
3,
you were to
4,
click the
5.
door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have
learn
meant
how to
something. It
fucking
has to be
drag
a true reward for
I will
valiant
download
effort.
a
I want to see some
fucking,
hustle,
auto-
Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
I don't know where that is.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
I don't like this.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so. Now, back to door number 437.
Back. I want this achievement. I want this stupid fucking achievement.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
I can't.
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416? Let's see 416.
When Stanley came to a set of
Fuck!
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of... Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
You see, Stanley,
What?
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable
I'll do
and
it
about
later.
how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
The fuck?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right
Looks
there.
like Netflix.
It's future-oriented. It screams
Hey,
progress
Fern!
and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to
Or
be,
2-7.
but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive
bucket.
dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest,
I'm in the bucket!
it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket
Give me the
is
bucket!
the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair,
bucket now.
must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Give me a bucket. Okay, let's go. We have the bucket. The bucket has been acquired.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Horrifying.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Fuck you. I want the goddamn achievement. I want a single achievement in this goddamn game.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait.
Oh,
you already
I got
spent
2
all your
achievements.
jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
I got 2 achievements.
Oh, well.
I got the,
I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
I got the you can't jump, seriously, we disabled it. And the get your first achievement thing.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That gave me a lot of dopamine.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
This is huge. Infinite hole. Infinite hole? Where did that? Infinite hole. I would like the infinite hold. Yes, please.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games is you see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite?
Infinite's
Well,
impossible.
that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Oh, damn. You good?
Look, things got a little
Guess
heated
given the
there.
whole
I
I
think
don't
we
add,
both
it
said
started
some
out
things
quite
we
echoey
didn't
and I was
mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Okay, darling.
If that works
makes you
for
feel
you,
better.
then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more
What
of
if
my
I-
ideas for
hold
the
up.
sequel.
What if I just...
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you
Yeah, it
this
did.
time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean,
yeah.
admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come
gonna jump in the
join
hole
me
again.
up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Oh gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
I agree.
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
What if I don't jump in this time?
Well, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my lie has
Never
come
mind.
to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
Yeah.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
No, it's not.
You sure?
Yep.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment
Yeah,
ago.
no, I
Try
agree
it
it
again.
was.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone.
ending?
You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and
Bye.
the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
We will. That was a weird noise. Guys? I think the hole's becoming infinite again.
stronger. You're no longer using up the space of mind.
Puppies!
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreams.
I love this game.
But we can't have that, Stanley.
Oh my
because
god,
this
it's so
hole is
chaotic.
just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and
How about
wake
you
you
let
up
me out of the damn
to keep
hole?
you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back.
I can still press the buttons. Oh, I could for a second. I guess it's gone now. What did I do?
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
What did I do?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as
Not
Jim.
the fringe religious
and finally,
groups.
dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, Jim. Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Let me out!
Jim. Oh, it hits even harder
It
the
hit you
second
harder the
time.
second
If
time.
this were the
Ba-ba.
only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I want chocolate. I want chocolate. It's Princess chocolate. Hey. Kaimi! How are you doing, darling?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play this. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Kenny! It's going really well. I'm playing Stanley Parable, which is super fun. I'm playing it for like 2 hours. And it's really weird. Exit. Exit. Let's leave. Let's leave. I know. I left for a grab party.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yes, I am.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Is blonde? Me? What? Talk about... This is really fucking cool. What's blonde?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
My hair's
Employee
yellow!
number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made.
I skipped it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
I'm about to
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I
how long-
can't just
far away
give
my
these
mouse
merits
is.
away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417? Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why? Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437. Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
I'll pick up the bucket in a minute.
Now, back to door number 437.
I'm doing this for an achievement!
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the call right? Back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
So the problem was last time I couldn't find door
We've
416.
almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again! Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes! We did
I
it!
did get the achievement.
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley picked up the bucket.
I did want the bucket. I wanted the bucket. Okay, which way do I go?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his
Which door
left.
should we go in? I've kind of done both at this point. So what do y'all think? What do y'all want to do? Choose your own adventure. Streamer, go right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting
Yeah,
room.
kind of hasn't seen
But
this.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
I can't.
telling
I
him
can't go back.
that
The door's closed behind me.
employee lounge was simply the place to be.
See? Watch.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Okay.
Stanley took the door
So,
on his left to go back to the
straight
meeting room.
or to the left? Mouse says left. But I'm not sure that was for this actual one. So mouse, repeat left if you want me to go through the left. Left? Now,
And so the two of them detoured
We've
through
already-
the maintenance section and walked straight
we've
ahead
already
to the
done-
opposite door.
we've already done this. This has already been done. I don't think I can get anything else in that. I don't remember having many choices down there. So we can go this way.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
Okay, up or down?
Coming to a staircase,
I think
Stanley
I
and the
don't think
bucket
there's anything
walked
else I can do
upstairs
down.
to the boss's
So we're gonna go up.
office.
Because I've done down. So no, what we haven't done.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across
sad.
one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay, can I go in the other room now? I'm going to the elevator though. I want to go in the room with the elevator! Fuck you.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
2-8.
The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands?
No.
Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines?
Stanlerines,
Yes,
yeah.
I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
It's terrible. One day I'll find out what this hole is. Are we going for the true ending with the bucket?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
If cat gets on the fire.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it.
Fired?
His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the
Fired?
bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the
was I not
controls.
supposed to do that?
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Terry had already gone right
The
after he
lounge
said
was
race.
grand,
Perfect.
majestic. Perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I do not.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
We've already done this ending. I'm a gay man though, so I do not have a her. No.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay, let's go.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. Let's try this again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
Yeah,
by
I think
the
everyone's
employee
lost
lounge
count.
first,
That's fine.
just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness
Figlies.
that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
We haven't been down here before.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Oh, I guess the answer is I don't go from there. Cool.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office. Because he doesn't pick up, Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
One of them has to open, right?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
What if I go downstairs with the bucket?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
This is new.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
Didn't I burn
We've
that
come
baby?
together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played
Yeah,
some
it's
silly
2.5
music
hours
as well.
playing this game.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all
back,
about.
bitch.
Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Welcome back. I'm not giving up this bucket. You can pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
This is such an intricate fucking game. I love it.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such
The fans
spellbinding
want the
stories
bucket.
about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Uh-huh.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay.
What could it mean?
I'm starting to do this more
Stanley
methodically.
decided to go to the
because,
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm starting to do this more methodically because I want to get all the endings. So I want to try
When
something
Stanley
real quick.
came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
Oh my
perfectly
god!
well.
I completely...
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
Holy
employee
shit.
lounge first, just to admire
Yes,
it.
rap break. Rap break. The sequel is now paused. Rat break, yes. Today we have a very rare, never before seen combo of rats. We have Cece and Basil, because the introductions have been made. And they now live in one cage, and I can shove my face in both of them at the same time. But, to show you how small the babies still are, and this is the bigger of the two babies that I have. This is Cece. Your average size female rat. Right? This is Basil. Your average size 10, 11-week-old baby. Who peed on me? That was rude. How else are you supposed to hold them? They're nuggets. You just kind of gotta like, I mean, they don't... This one's very chill. You can just kind of... She's very happy. Maybe mush. I'm not sure if I can do with 3 rats by my desk. Yeah. Maybe once they start calming down a bit. Her footage of Basil's nest? What? Every time I bring out Basil, you just compare her to Candy. I got an ad and scared you. I'm sorry. She is a sweetie. These two are both such sweethearts. As you can see by the amount that they're cuddling with me. Imagine getting ads and no crown. It couldn't be me. Imagine not having rats. They're just so cuddly. I mean, look at this. How Tell me these motherfuckers aren't the ideal pets. What other pet just will do this? I mean, cats will, but like, cats aren't as small and cute. Cats are very cute. They're not this small. I'm like high-key planning on getting a new cat, possibly. Okay, that is exciting though. I have $2. Kaimi only has 2 whole doll hairs. That is not enough for a subscription. Jaime, you won't go into debt for me? Do not. Look at how long she is. Look at how long she is. Why so long? Why so long? So long for no reason. No reason to be so long. None at all. Only long for cuddles, snuggles, to be the snake. I'm trying to give God money, but not allowed to yet. Yeah, well, I finished Kylie's commission. So actually, I could do yours next week if you want to send me the monies. I will send you a fucking full-ass oil painting of all of your plants in exchange for pottery. I will take your money, but you'll take these damn emotes too. Good girl. Yes, before you pay. I know you're good for it. Poor baby girl got a little scratch on her head from intros the other day. Yes? Ah! Oh! Cece used tail whip. It was very effective. I can't because I didn't oh. Right, I didn't. Hold up. Kaimi. Da 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 da. Hat. Shift. Drag. There you go. And I received your stuffed panda. Heyo, RGK. Heck, it's Gek. Heck, it's Gek. Look at this. This is the ideal. This is peak performance. This is the ideal body shape. If you don't look like this, don't talk to me. She's getting there. She will get to chonk status. She's still growing. Ow! Ow! You're sharp. They're both very sharp. Okay, I'm gonna put them back and I'm gonna get another like 15 minutes of gameplay, probably one more, probably one more ending. And then that's gonna be it for me today. So I'm gonna put these back. think my headphones just died. They almost certainly did. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Okay.
It was okay.
Oh, hold up. There we go.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go...
we've gotten this ending.
Well, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
I've already done this
it's
one.
Clearly...
Sorry,
Oh
decision
dear, would you hold on for a minute,
give me
please?
a different, ending, maybe?
Now, let's
I think
see.
there
We went
was,
down,
but-
right, left, down, left,
I guess I
right.
need to look harder.
Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay, one last
Stanley
run.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Did we do an actual true ending run?
When Stanley... Wait.
Oh, I've done this.
What? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did
Yeah.
you change anything when we were back in that...
I've done that already.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
True
mean?
ending.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
So I haven't
Perhaps
done
he had
true
simply
ending.
missed a memo.
What was that? That's weird. Maury, thank you so much for gifting. Why didn't my did my thing pop
When
up?
Stanley came to a set of
Good.
2 open doors,
Thank you, Maury.
he entered the door on his
I was
left.
spooked. Bottom text. There will be a reward for finding them all. Stop kidding yourselves. I don't think so much. When we go home, where are you lies? Trust the completionist instinct. Damn. Okay. I do want to find them all. I do have that completionist instinct, though. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Have you found this one? Switch. I don't think we ever gone down. We could say that to putting Pat emotes in. Yeah, input Pat emotes, Kaimi. You're gonna have to turn it into a GIF though, because I didn't know how fast you wanted it. This is gonna do nothing again.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
One of these times when I check behind this thing, something's actually going to be here. I should use my hand.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, lights!
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm lonely working as a voice actor by yourself like this, though. No one talks to you.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Tired. Broken TV screen.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Okay.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I said yeah, okay, like, okay, let's go for it.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
I think
The
that's the
feeling
true.
of
That's
liberation,
the true ending.
the immense possibility
that's
of
what
the
we're
new
gonna end on.
path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah, it's the touch grass ending. Yeah, and I got the achievement beat the game. Okay. So we are going to it does feel like the death ending. Who is live? We got quite a few people. Big stretch. And some water. 3 hours of insanity later, and we're gonna be doing this again next week. Cause it's not over until I do all of the endings. So right now I'm trying to figure out which of two streamers I want to raid. Depends on what Ombi's working on.
Going to have to get going, Irina. Good night. Hope the rest of the stream goes well. Nice talking to you all. Yeah, I really liked it.
I think we're gonna do Ombi. Because we haven't rated them in a while. And it looks like they're doing some really cool landscape study art. Which is kind of fucking, it's cool as shit. So we are going to send everyone their way. Please be wonderful representations of the community. Spam the raid emotes as much as the mods will allow. And have a wonderful rest of y'all's day. I will see you next week.